This really is going to work great. Welcome back to the Tractor Tech channel. I'm Roger. When you're using your tractor with a 3-point hitch implement, a good portion of the time is spent looking over your shoulder, watching the implement while you're driving forward. I find myself constantly turning around to look to make sure that I'm not going to run into something or somebody while I'm driving forward. I never know when somebody's going to pop in my driveway. So to make the tractor safer to use, I had the idea to mount a backup camera on the front of the tractor and put the monitor towards the rear of the tractor, so when I'm turned around watching a 3-point hitch implement, I can see where the tractor is going. Safer and more user-friendly, I'm going to be installing a 5-inch wireless backup camera. By wireless, I mean I do not need to run a cord from the monitor to the camera. As I mentioned, I have a 5-inch monitor. The camera is I-68 waterproof. It has a 110 wide view angle, 5-inch color display, night vision. It works off of 2.4 gigahertz, and it is 720p HD. So of course it comes with instructions, 5-inch monitor, power cord for the monitor, antenna for the monitor. I already have the mount in the tractor from test fitting. I'll show that later. This is the camera with a mount. This is the power cord and wireless transmitter. Then it also comes with a license plate bracket in case you decide to mount it on a car, which I do not need since I'm mounting it on a tractor. Some Scotch lock connectors, cable ties, and some adhesive tape to mount the camera if you need that for your installation. It's super easy to set it up. Just screw the antenna onto the monitor. The wiring is very easy. It only plugs up one way. It's plugged up, ready to go. And we also have a USB port so I can charge something there if I need to. Get the camera ready for install. It's the same deal. It plugs up. Here's the suction cup mount. It has a nut on the back that you can loosen to adjust it to change the angle of the monitor. Since I'm using this backup camera actually on the front of the tractor, I'm mounting it on the right rear window. My 3-point hitch controls are on the right side of the tractor, so I'm going to be turning to my right side when I'm looking, so I can easily look at this camera and see where the front of the tractor is headed. The monitor just slides down on the mount. Then the camera plugs in. This 12-volt power port only has power when the ignition switch is on. So that concludes the monitor side of the installation. So that I have a really good viewing angle, I've chose to mount the monitor on the inside of the tractor. There's a bolt right there that secures the cab top to the tractor. That's what I'm going to use. Mount the camera there. And then I can run the wire across and up into the rooftop, and then I'm going to pick up my power wire in the rooftop of the tractor. So now the hard part of this job is going to be removing the rooftop, which is not very hard, but I have a row of bolts all the way around here that I need to remove to pull the top off of the tractor. If I remember correctly, this plastic cab top has something like a rib nut up inside that the bolt screws into. I don't want to use something like a battery impact that's going to hammer and possibly strip that out, so I'm just going to use a socket and ratchet. I forgot that I added this insulation to the top of the tractor. Now I have the wire run down through from the top. If it's a little tight, what I did was I pushed it down through to here, and then I was able to very carefully pull down on the headliner and then slip the wire around to this side where I need it. So now I need to go up to the top and pull the excess wire up. I have an extra long bolt. There's one of the long bolts that I used, and here's the wire. I have all the excess wire from the camera pulled up through. You can see it looks a lot better. So I'll show you what the wire looks like right now. So here's where I picked up the hot wire, and there's where it's grounded. So all I have to do now, I've already tested it, it works. I've already tested the camera and it works, so now I can put the top back on the tractor. So here's a better look at my setup. The camera is mounted there. I was able to use a bolt that holds the top of the cab down. Then I mounted the monitor on the side window. The mount that comes with it is like a sticky suction cup. It holds it very firmly in place. And as I mentioned before, it has a nut on the back where you can adjust it to change the angle of the monitor. Might be looking a little bit washed out on the camera, but the picture is really good. It's a little bit fuzzy, but it's more than good enough to see what you're doing. Now I know a lot of people are probably going to question why I put the camera there instead of mounting it on the front of the tractor. But I chose to put it there so I have a really good view angle, and if you look, I can see everything from where the loader on the tractor is forward. So that way if somebody approaches the tractor from the side and I'm doing something with the 3-point hitch and I don't see them, I'll pick them up in the monitor. And the way it's positioned on the side window, I can easily turn around, look back at an implement, and then just barely turn my head or glance over at the camera and see where the front of the tractor is heading. This is going to make things a lot better because, like, if I'm grading the driveway, I can watch and make sure I'm staying on track instead of like driving off the edge of the driveway or something, for example, or driving over into an area that I don't want to. And also I don't have to worry about people, objects, pets, or whatever running into anything with this monitor, because I can just glance down at it and see where I'm headed versus looking back at an implement and having to turn all the way around every few seconds to make sure nothing's there. I'll start the tractor up here and drive forward while I'm looking backwards and see how this works. I had this idea maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and now I really wish I would have done it sooner. This really is going to work great. Just a couple weeks ago when we were cutting firewood, this guy stopped in and came over and was talking to my dad, and he came back and left like 2 or 3 different times, so he was constantly walking up and back, and I was handling logs with the tractor off the log pile, and some of the logs are 22 feet long, so that leaves you with a good bit of a log hanging out past the side of the tractor. And as I'm backing up off the log pile, my dad knows to stay out of the way, but somebody like that doesn't know to stay out of the way, so I really have to watch other people when they are around, because the last thing I want to do is run over somebody with the tractor. But if I'd have had this monitor backup camera set up, I'd have been able to watch this guy better at the time. So not only is this thing going to work great for when we're using the 3-point hitch, but like if I'm backing up handling a log or something big on the front end loader, I'm going to be able to watch this monitor and watch the front of the tractor very easily. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel for more videos like this.